India is actually not the most closely aligned with China or Russia, but it is neutral. And you know, their foreign minister, Jai Shankar, is an extremely intelligent man. They are already relocating the world's largest oil company and de-dollarizing with the United Arab Emirates. You know, they have purchased over 1 million barrels of oil from Abu Dhabi National Oil Company in Indian rupees. That is actually a very alarming situation for a country like the United States.
This sounds interesting, but do we already have some indicators pointing to a possible success of BRICS currency? Or is it all about what the leaders believe can happen?
Now, just to be clear, the following are the gross wealth losses and gains of the listed countries in 2022. Now, Brazil's total wealth increased by $1.1 trillion. India's increased by $675 billion. Mexico increased by $655 billion. And Russia increased by $600 billion under Vladimir Putin. Now, it is very important, these figures, for us to note, because Brazil, India, and Russia are key members of the BRICS. These are 3 members of the BRICS. Now, for the countries that recorded losses, we have Australia with $1 trillion in losses, Canada down by 1.2 trillion losses, China down by 1.5 trillion losses, Japan down by 2.5 trillion losses. The United States, guys, and get ready for this, the United States down by $5.9 trillion. And the European Union as a whole down by another roughly, $5 trillion. And so they have suffered this greatest financial market losses in the last 12 months, or in the 12 months of 2022. Now, overall, the US and the EU have lost $10.9 trillion.
Apart from the one currency, what else does BRICS seek to achieve?
The BRICS summit in South Africa highlights the economic power of the BRICS countries and seeks greater integration amongst them. The leaders of the BRICS emerging economies, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, called for greater integration on the first day of the group's 15th summit in Johannesburg. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, whose country is holding the bloc's rotating presidency this year, stated during the summit in its Economic Forum Leaders session that the changes that have occurred in the BRICS economies over the past decade have done much to transform the shape of the global economy. He also stated that the group exists not only to strengthen government-to-government relations, but also to forge stronger ties between the peoples of our 5 nations. The 5 main goals for 2023 are addressing the effects of climate change, improving education and skill development, utilizing the African continental free trade area, promoting post-pandemic recovery, and enhancing international cooperation. Now, we need to understand, as part of, their programs for their skill development, they also are looking into AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Now, by encouraging sustainable development, boosting trade and investment, and encouraging collaboration between BRICS countries and other African countries, these priorities are anticipated to have a positive effect on the African economy.
How is Africa benefiting from this community? I see Egypt and Nigeria on the list of countries that have expressed interest in joining.
The effects of the BRICS summit in 2023 is anticipated to have a positive overall effect on the African economy by fostering greater integration between the BRICS countries and other African countries, tackling important issues like climate change, education, taking advantage of opportunities, as we've mentioned before, like the African Continental Free Trade Area. And all these initiatives are anticipated to aid in Africa's sustainable economic growth and development. 40 countries have expressed their interest in joining BRICS, while 25 have formally applied, including Argentina, Iran, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Indonesia, Thailand, Cuba, Egypt, and Nigeria. It's not looking so good for the G7, while the BRICS is only expanding and growing. We over here are very excited to see what really happens next.
We hope that this time our continent will not be seen as underdogs to get the full package that the BRICS promise. Thank you for the insight. The BRICS summit in West Africa was one of the most historic gatherings of foreign diplomats and world leaders that we have seen in all of modern history. The world is about to change for the better. That will be all for now. All Africans should stay on guard. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.